SonicFox means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. They're the greatest Mortal Kombat player of all time.
And SonicFox is your Evolution 2019 champion!
They're a hero to an often maligned community.
Guess all I gotta really say is that I'm gay, black, a furry, pretty much everything a Republican hates, and the best esports player of the year, I guess.
They're America's greatest hope in a genre dominated by the rest of the world.
And SonicFox is your Dragonball Fighters Evolution 2018 champion!
They are an inspiration.
And now this is for you.
They're not what many people expect, but they're everything an esports competitor should aspire to be.
We all have a job here, and that's one job is to win.
SonicFox's story starts out like so many esports stories that came before. Their brother Christian was a Tekken fan, and SonicFox, just 3 years old, was mesmerized by it. Since then, they've been obsessed with fighting games.
As far as I can remember, the very first game I ever saw was Tekken 3, and I saw my brothers playing it. And I thought, notice another thing about my earliest memory as a child. I had to have been 3 when I first ever saw the game. And like, I literally can't remember anything in my life before that. That's the very first memory. My very first early memory was watching Tekken 3 be played and like just being astounded by it. And then I tried it and fell in love with it. And then Mortal Kombat Deception came out. Not Deception, Deadly Alliance was out, and I saw my brother playing that. And that's when I fell into Mortal Kombat. And ever since then, I just knew that I loved fighting games.
Tournaments came a few years later, though. At 13, Sonic was playing in tournaments up and down the East Coast, traveling with their brother to play Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, and Dead or Alive, among other games. And even back then, the Masters took notice. Kayane, a French Soul Calibur pro, took a picture with SonicFox because she related to their story. A young prodigy who may not have been taken seriously by their peers, but was good enough to challenge the best. As the years went on, people learned what Kayane already knew. SonicFox was a name to be feared.
But KDC just wanted the pressure, and that was a very good reaction by SonicFox.
Yo, was that a prediction or was that a read?
I'm not sure.
I don't even know.
It might have been a read because Heat Zap is very fast.
He did that so early?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yo, stream.
SonicFox.
Yo, she is not OD right now? Come on, stream.
But long before SonicFox knew they were a fighting game god, they knew some other important things about themselves. First, they were a furry. SonicFox discovered their fursona, a blue fox, when they were around 10 years old. As the years went on, they went more and more public with that part of their identity.
Well, so I've always been a furry as far as long as I remember too, because I grew up watching Happy Tree Friends, and I always really liked it. I created my own character for the Happy Tree Friends OC, and I was like, I kind of want to see this character in a more anthro style. And I was like, oh, I'm a furry, and that's all that happened. But I just knew I had a bunch of friends and family inside the community that were really important to me, and I just I kept sticking with it as I was growing up, and it just became much more and more powerful.
The furry community is often misunderstood. While many see it as a purely sexual thing, a kind of kink, for many furries, it's more about a way of life, a community they can belong to. It's also a way to express yourself through your fursona, an anthropomorphized animal that becomes an alternate identity, a sort of avatar in the community. People draw their fursonas, write stories about them, and of course, some are able to purchase elaborate custom fursuits, letting them go to various conventions and meet up as their fursona. And as SonicFox grew more comfortable expressing that side of themselves at tournaments, it began to boost their own confidence.
At first, it was just like, I thought it was cool. Second, I eventually stopped caring. I was like, I'm just gonna wear this, nobody can stop me. And then, as I kept getting more and more involved with the furry community, I started just adding more costumes and stuff to that, and I started getting paid a little bit more, so I could start doing a couple more cool stuff with it, you know? Like, I just kept progressing more and more into furry filth.
But there's another major facet to SonicFox's identity. They're queer.
I want to give a super shout out to all my LGBTQ plus friends that have always helped me through life.
Sonic's coming out process has been pretty public. After all, they've lived most of their life in the public eye.
It definitely took me a while to come to terms with it. If I didn't have the friends that I had in high school, I definitely wouldn't have figured it out ever. But when I came to terms with it, I was like, I know what it was like to have always hit that feeling, and it sucked. So I don't want anybody ever to feel that way. And I just wanted to be me all the time. So I started being really, really open with it after I got really comfortable with myself. And I was like, I want everybody else to be really comfortable with themselves as well.
Sonic initially came out as a gay man and then later identified themselves as a non-binary man. As for why they do all this out in the open, making sure everyone knows, well, it's about making it as accepted as possible, letting everyone know they're welcome in the FGC.
How can I explain it? It's like, it makes it feel like I'm no different from anybody else in a community where it's kind of looked down upon to be that way, you know? So when I do things like that, I don't know, I feel good.
The thing is, when one of the best fighting game players in the world is a queer black furry, it's a lot easier for people to see themselves in the community. SonicFox's presence and dominance tells people that there's a place for them, no matter who they are, and they too could be the best. Because very quickly, SonicFox became the best. Sonic's dominance began with Injustice, where they burst onto the North American scene with wins at Final Round 17 and CEO 2014.
Yeah. Oh, this. Oh! Oh, it's comes in again. This could be it.
Was that an input error? Oh,
Yes.
He's dead.
Not dead yet.
He's dead.
Oh,
Pop off, switch
and
that.
SonicFox.
SonicFox has won his first major. Batgirl has won her first major.
SonicFox.
He's definitely going to go for super. He wanted it right there.
14.
I told you.
Dash up super. Make
Got
him
it
watch.
too.
Make him watch. No. Unpause the game.
Nope, and unplugs his controller.
Right,
and SonicFox is your CEO 2014 champion.
Then came EVO, the biggest fighting game tournament in the world.
Take 1 sec. Oh no. He wanted that so badly. Okay, now there's one more mix-up.
And he blocked, nice. Push blocked, and he gets away. And there's the DP, this could be it!
And it is! SonicFox is gonna take it 6-0.
Evolution 2014 champion.
Those grand finals matches were many people's first look at SonicFox. Many saw them as a quiet young kid with an incredible understanding of the game.
As a younger player, and I see this a lot in fighting games in general, younger players who are very talented and very good, they tend to take those risks a lot more often than, you know, seasoned players or even older players. So
That's true.
To see him do well, I think Batgirl is a perfect fit for him.
I think so.
Like, absolutely perfect fit for him.
But Sonic wasn't just good at Injustice. Around the same time, they played and excelled at Dead or Alive.
Oh, it's over.
Oh,
it's
no.
over.
Oh.
Mortal Kombat,
Anything will do it!
Pull your dragon tattoos out, they're glowing!
Oh! He landed on the Caltron!
Wow!
Under Night,
Yep. SonicFox takes it 3-0.
and Skullgirls.
And that's it. Drill.
CR
Puts it down.
SonicFox.
SonicFox adding another game to his wide catalog.
Sonic was a fighting game prodigy. They could pick up a game, figure it out, and dominate it in weeks. The FGC has seen figures like this before. For years, Justin Wong would pop his head into a new game and win plenty of early tournaments. But the difference between Justin and Sonic is that eventually, Justin went back to his main games.
The king! I'm not even gonna knock it yet. I'm not even gonna. Oh my god! Justin takes it! He takes it!
SonicFox went into a game, conquered the competition, and remained on top. And as Sonic's trophy shelf grew, they became more and more confident with showing more sides of themselves to the crowd. Sonic quickly became known for their trademark hat and tail, a sort of furry calling card. People became so used to seeing Sonic in the hat that it was a shock whenever they took it off.
Nobody in the crowd saw this coming. Oh, and look at the glance from Tekken Master. Woo, and Sonic.
this.
Whoa! Whoa! I don't think we've ever seen that before.
We have
Yikes!
never. We're seeing
Oh man!
bareheaded human SonicFox.
I thought his brain would be exposed there.
But success breeds haters, and SonicFox had to brush off their fair share. For years, SonicFox was the unquestionable best player in the world when it came to Mortal Kombat and Injustice. But to certain members of the FGC at large, that wasn't good enough.
The problem was, there was always this reputation that the people who are good at MK weren't really actually good at fighting games. They were just good, and they were lucky that Street Fighter players didn't play because clearly they would lose and stuff like that.
To some, Sonic's tournament record came with an asterisk. Sure, they were the best Mortal Kombat player, critics would say, but the competition wasn't real. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, in the haters' eyes, those were the legit fighting games, with deep pools of highly talented players and decade-old legacies. Meanwhile, SonicFox was playing smaller games, newer games, games that, to some, weren't as important.
I saw one crazy Reddit thread I remember back in the day of someone saying like, oh, SonicFox can't play Marvel because they need a block button, which is just crazy because they were also playing, they were playing like Skullgirls at the time and being incredible, and Under Night and being incredible. So just none of that made any sense, but it was a way to, kind of downplay SonicFox's achievements and keep pumping up the players that they liked and knew already.
It didn't hit them too hard, but it did chip away at their legacy for people looking in from the outside. It made SonicFox look like a huge fish in a small pond. So SonicFox began to branch out, but it wasn't because of the haters.
Just upset a lot of people at high level. That's my only goal. I don't even want to be the best. I just want to upset people. I really love Tekken, and my main character is back, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm putting in the time and work to show people that, hey, I can be good at whatever game I set my mind to.
SonicFox finished top 8 at the first ever Street Fighter V Premier tournament, beating the eventual Capcom Cup champion NuckleDu in the first major tournament of the year.
Dude can't have one hit. Oh, he's coming in.
Oh my gosh, he's sliding. He's coming at him.
He's going for the lows. Watch the knees.
And he pops off. He pops off.
SonicFox.
Yeah.
They played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite the next year, barely missing out on qualifying for the game's first and only World Finals.
That's a 2-for-1
I don't
during
think
a
he
Soul
needs to
Storm.
right now.
Yeah, definitely don't need to. You got a happy boo-boo for sure.
He doesn't have to.
Oh.
2-for-1 trap. Damn.
3-0 reset.
All the while, Sonic was still the person to beat in NRS games. The lowest they ever placed in a Mortal Kombat X tournament was 4th, and they won 20 tournaments, including, of course, 2 back-to-back EVO titles.
To win twice in 2 years, it's not a feat that many fighting game players have accomplished. Some people have won EVO twice over a course of several years in different games, and certainly that is incredible. I think, as far as I know, one of the only other players to have done it was Daigo when Street Fighter 4 came out in 2009-2010. And this achievement is, in that way, Daigo-esque, right? It is this show of dominance as if to say, I am, or SonicFox, right, saying, I am the greatest player to play these games.
By the time Injustice 2 rolled around, Sonic was nearly unstoppable in the NRS scene. 15 tournament wins in a year and a half. And though they missed out on the EVO titles, they still picked up both Pro Series Finals titles, earning the last official tournament victory of the game's life, closing out its era as its true champion.
SonicFox closes out at any second here.
And that could be game, not just like that.
He's still in this. This is a very tense moment. The mechanical bat, what can it do? Hits him with the overhead.
And they're down 2. It is all over. SonicFox is your Injustice 2 Pro Series champion.
But all the while, there was one more game that Sonic was excelling at. The game that would truly silence their haters. Dragonball Fighters' release was exciting for fans who wanted their favorite characters in the game, but hype around its release really focused on which legendary fighting game players would pick it up.
It brought together people from, Guilty Gear and Street Fighter and Marvel and even Smash Bros. And of course, the NRS community. Any kind of fighting game, people came into Dragon Ball. And so you had people really paying attention to, from Smash guys like Leffen, from Marvel vs. Capcom guys like Chris G, and, from the NRS community, SonicFox.
Sonic took to DBFZ almost instantly, and made sure that they were given the respect they deserve in the game that brought together the FGC.
He's too good.
Get the trophy ready.
We're looking at the Winter Brawl champion. Oh, we got pop-off. We got pop-off.
He said, let's freaking go.
Woof. That was a shenai. 3-0, 3-0? What's up?
That's vintage. Wow. That's Texas Showdown.
The North American community rallied around SonicFox, but across the Pacific, Goichi, another fighting game legend, was being hailed as the best in the world, and the pair loved to play into their international rivalry.
次は SonicFox お前だ。
Oh. One thing, Goichi, omae wa mu shinderu.
The rivalry from that point on became like the best rivalry I think to exist in a fighting game, because it's like we just want to push each other to our absolute limits. That's like all they could ever ask for somebody in any fighting game to do for me.
Goichi and SonicFox didn't have too much in common, but there was one thing that tied them together. Goichi was known in Japan as the king of poverty games, a classification given to games that tend to have anime aesthetics, extremely complicated mechanics, and of course, low to non-existent prize pools.
He's played like every poverty anime game that you and I have never heard of. He's like multi-time champion, and he's actually, I heard that he was like a rhythm game champion in Japan. There's like some rhythm game in Japan that he's like the best at too. But there was like one year where Anime Evo held like a bunch of side tournaments, and Goichi I think won like 5 titles at Evo or something.
Goichi was a solid Street Fighter V player, but he was the god of games that rarely got their time in the limelight. Dragonball Fighters represented a chance for both players to dominate in a game that everyone was paying attention to. A game where no one could say they were just beating players who weren't good enough to cut it in the big leagues. And very quickly, SonicFox and Goichi's rivalry became Dragonball Fighters' main event.
Okay, oh man, my dude is on another level. My dude is on another level right now. I already told you.
Damn, he got comfortable.
Somebody just said
It only took 3 games. You know what? Great job from Goichi. He called him out and he finished the job. 10-4 for the obvious.
And there it is. That may be curtains, and all she wrote as Goichi goes into the loops. Final flash incoming after this energy field, and this is going to be enough to do the job. Goichi is your final round champion. What a tremendous grand finals. The guaranteed, it's settled now. Goichi is without question the best in the world.
Okay, SonicFox, hold it down. Oh, the rocket punch.
Gets advantage, okay.
It's time to guess. This is a good look.
Oh, but he's got a DP in the advantage. Yes, he does. And Goichi takes it.
I'm pretty sure SonicFox thought that was going to be safe. But look at that. Goichi is your victor.
Yes, he is.
Goichi won their first few sets, but SonicFox caught up fast, winning the next 3.
Potentially one mix-up away, ladies and gentlemen, from taking this away.
And he jumped low. SonicFox, your combo breaker 2018 Dragonball Fighters champion.
Air to air. He got under. Oh, SonicFox gonna take it over Goichi. Out.
4th place for Goichi in the Summit of Power. Crazy.
You know what's safe to say? I think at this point that is Goichi's demon.
Oh my god, he's trying it again. No, not yet. And this time, that's going to be another DP from Goichi, but that's going to be E-Tyrant. SonicFox once again defeats Goichi in tournaments. The table has turned between these two, and he qualifies into Grand Finals winner sides.
Heading into EVO, they were all tied up.
It's up for grabs. Well, we got it here. Winners finals of Evolution. SonicFox Goichi one more time. Wow, SonicFox tech buttons. He's too good in the scramble. The God King of all scrambles.
Yo, this is looking absolutely free right now for SonicFox. Snap, yes, get him out of here. Give me the blue. I want to see it so bad at Evo. Let me see Chevron.
He's going to get Chevron.
Oh my goodness. Bring the gas back. Bring it back.
He's going to get Chevron. Okay.
Oh my
goodness. Does he take Sparking or does he take the other character?
Bring the character back. Bring back. Restore my health. Okay, we take that. We take that. He gets the whole thing. Yes.
Yes. He is healthy. Mix up here. Oh, the extra health. He summoned Shenron and everything. Javelin, Zamasu.
Is that actually enough?
Yes, it is. SonicFox in Grand Finals winner's side.
Oh, that man is excited.
SonicFox won 3-0. But with a swift win over his teammate Fenrich, Goichi clawed his way back to Grand Finals for a second showdown with his rival.
Yeah, Javelin, bang, energy field.
Ooh, okay. 1 on the board for Goichi. Looking way better than he did in the winners finals, I will say that.
Oh, got him. Clean air dash forward, caught SonicFox running up. He's got plenty of bar, yeah. HGB maybe?
He's going to vanish with 2H, knock him down, and that might be enough.
Final flash, SonicFox nodding.
Pixel.
Got him!
Okay, it's still a 1-1.
Ran all the way up, and it's gonna be a reset.
So Goichi climbs his way back into Grand Finals from the loser's bracket, goes into Grand Finals, and annihilates SonicFox in the first set, right? He resets the bracket 3-0. It is insane, and everyone's thinking, holy crap, Goichi's got this. And then SonicFox requests the other side of the setup.
Yeah, the question SonicFox is apparently asking is if there can be a side switch in between the sets. He wants player 1 now.
Some people thought that SonicFox was like maliciously trying to get the upper hand. I don't think that was the case. I think, you know, it was language barriers and SonicFox feels more comfortable on that side, but at the end of the day, it ended up completely halting Goichi's momentum.
I don't know, it might be a stretch, but SonicFox maybe did that just to cool the man off. And you seen Goichi grill at SonicFox like, yo, bro, are you serious? Like, let's get this going.
And in Dragon Ball's final match of the night, it was SonicFox who prevailed.
Yeah, light, mix up there, Bardock assist, one more. Got him!
Oh, this is it! He's gonna kill him.
That's
He's gonna
the
kill
open
him.
up for SonicFox.
Here it is. And SonicFox. Wait a minute. Yo, wait, do not tell me we're gonna summon. Are we gonna summon? And SonicFox is your Dragon Ball Fighters Evolution 2018 champion. He's done it. He's done it.
Like I said, it felt good because not only did I win in a non-NRS title, I beat the best player in Japan to do it. So that's the very first time I was in grand finals with a player from Japan ever in a fighting game at Evo, and I defeated him too, considering the hard work that he put in and the hard work I put in. I was very happy to say at that moment that I was the best Dragon Ball Fighters player.
SonicFox put themselves at the top of a game played by everyone, where the competition was fierce and no one could dispute their success. That night, they were the best fighting game player in the world. In a world where the top players tend to be reserved, hyper-serious, and traditional, SonicFox bucks the trend. By standing apart, they stand as an example that anyone can be a star. Anyone can be the best.
So to have SonicFox, who's a gay furry, you know, very young, and also African American, or black, I should say, who's also black, you know, represent the fighting game community, I am 100% for it.
At CEO 2018, SonicFox gave their 5th place Dragon Ball Fighters medal to a kid watching them in the crowd, and promised him a 1st place medal the next year. At CEO 2019, they made good on that promise.
Remember me? I told you I would come back next year with a 1st place medal. And now this is for you.
That singular moment on its own stands as an example of what SonicFox means to the FGC. They're an inspiration for a future generation, a generation that can play whatever they want, be whoever they want, and still be the best.
I mean, it's only a good thing, right? To have someone like that be our ambassador who's lifting the trophies and taking the awards and talking up fighting games, it tells people who might not be part of those stereotypes, who might not associate with those stereotypes, that they're also welcome. They can be whoever they want to be and love fighting games and play fighting games and maybe even be the best fighting game player in the world.
While the next year of Dragon Ball Fighters was a little less kind to our hero, they still put up a 2nd place finish at EVO after a tense run-back against Goichi.
Good defense, both sides. I'm blocking both sides now.
Mystic Ball. This is huge. SonicFox goes for the reset, the challenge. Goichi was ready for it. He brings them up. This is it. Drop them, keep it simple. There it is, Goichi, your Dragon Ball Fighters 2019 EVO champion.
But instead of being salty, they stood next to their rival and raised up his hand.
I want them to get stronger, and I want myself to get stronger, because if they don't get stronger, how can I get stronger, right? Like, I want people to push me to my limit. I want people to kill me for silly mistakes, and I want vice versa. I want people to kill them for their silly mistakes, because we will become better fighting game players if we can really push ourselves to the limit.
That's another one of the many things that stand out about SonicFox. When they lose, they're never off sulking, they're laughing and smiling. They're just happy to be doing what they love, playing fighting games and putting on a show. Right after that finals against Goichi, SonicFox walked right over to the Mortal Kombat setups and got to work. They were easily the best Mortal Kombat player in the world at that point, but that didn't mean victory would be free. SonicFox plowed through their bracket, and after a close match with Dragon in the winners finals, proceeded to demolish him 3-0 in grands.
SonicFox is safe. Can he find another hit?
Coming under the wire, got the floss block down to raise the push. Wrong neutral, but no offense for to back things up. Gets one of that punch. He's going to give it to R2. And SonicFox is your Evolution 2019 champion.
They proved once again that they were the best Mortal Kombat player in the world. Once again, no one could touch their legacy.
They played 2 championship caliber top 8 back-to-back, second place in one, first in the other. I can think of very few other players who can match that.
SonicFox's professional career is only about 5 years long, but it's easy to forget that given just how much they've achieved in that time. In just 5 years, they've assembled a trophy cabinet that rivals some of fighting games' greatest talents. They've become an example of everything great about the FGC. They've become an ambassador for esports.
I think SonicFox is one of the best ambassadors we could possibly have for the FGC. I love it, right? Because one of the things that I want the FGC to be known for, to pride myself on the FGC, is the diversity that we have here.
They've won over 60 first place trophies, including 5 EVO World titles. They're one of the greatest fighting game players of all time. But perhaps more importantly, they're an inspiration, and that will be their legacy.
No matter who I am, no matter where I am, or no matter what I'm doing, whether it's gaming or in the work field, I'm going to be me. That's the only thing I could ever ask for to leave behind.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.